Hello, this is Leoso from thematani.com, and this is your Nullsec Recap for the month of November 2014. Almost all the major events of November hinged on the release of the Phoebe update, which greatly reduced the jump range of capital ships across the board. Anyone with half a brain saw the writing on the wall as soon as the changes were announced, and the Nullsec powers were no exception. Before the patch was even released, the Nullsec blocks redrew the map to suit their post-Phoebe strategies. We first saw Pandemic Legion sell much of its renter space in the east to Legion of XX Death XX. Meanwhile, the CFC sold its holdings in the southwest to the NC Dot and Darkness alliances. With these two events combined, the regions of Cobalt, Edge, Osa, Outer Passage, Quirius, Delve, and Period Basis changed hands virtually overnight without a single battle. This shuffle of territory resulted in Northern Associates, N3's Renter Alliance, becoming the holder of the largest number of systems in the game, even more than the NPC faction Amar Empire. Around the same time the major Nullsec powers played musical chairs, White Noise leader Syaz Kai came out of retirement. For those in need of a brief history lesson, White Noise was the lead alliance of the Drone Russia Federation coalition back in 2010. Syaz led the coalition against the old Northern Coalition, who were thought to be unbeatable at the time, and won. The war is still remembered fondly by many old Russian players. Syaz first left the game and effectively taking White Noise with him, after the CFC wrested Branch from his alliance back in early 2012. Fast forwarding to the present, what began as a roam led to the creation of Total Absolution, effectively the birth of White Noise 2.0. The new alliance quickly reasserted itself on the larger Nullsec stage, when Northern Associates transferred most of Ethereum Reach and Peregrine Falls to Total Absolution's Renter Alliance, Absolution Alliance. It's unknown what the terms of the transfer were, though a possible motivation may have been to position a strong Russian presence in the drone regions in order to prevent Solar Fleet from reclaiming the space. The transfer was not without its problems, with a few alliances attempting to ninja capture the transferred space. In the end, only Phoebe Freeport Alliance managed to retain any of the systems, though it has yet to face any real attempt to reclaim them. Following Pandemic Legion shedding part of its renter space, the Alliance reappeared in the Cursed region a few weeks later. They have been creating timers and provoking fights from many of their new neighbors, particularly the Hero Coalition and Ketch. The conflict culminated with a battle over the final station timer of F4R2 TAC Q. When the dust cleared, PL had inflicted heavy losses on Hero's capital fleet, though somehow Hero managed to retain control of the station. Moving our focus further east, many of the Russian alliances made plays to take systems from Northern Associates within Angel Space. After a few battles, the region remained largely intact, though some systems fell to Red Alliance and Dreamfleet. Returning to the north, in mid-November we saw the CFC deploy near the Venal-Declan border in order to exact revenge against their longtime tormentor, Black Legion. With the jump fatigue changes that came with Phoebe, many of the reason that CFC hasn't been able to, quote, utterly murder zone BL fell away, according to the Matani. The CFC saw this fact as an opportunity to exact revenge for the long-standing BL harassment. And finally, near the end of the month, the CFC executed one of its own, after evidence of defection appeared. The pilot in question, Ivory Continue of Space Monkeys Alliance, had his avatar alt Rayanar publicly executed by the other supers from the CFC. An uproar soon followed, with many protesting Ivory's innocence. The CFC leadership at first dismissed these claims, as they're typical with such a public purging. Later, however, new evidence emerged that exonerated Ivory, and the CFC was forced to backpedal. Hoping to make things right, Ivory was readmitted to SMA, and his avatar replaced. That's it for the November Nullsec Recap. If you enjoyed what you saw, be sure to subscribe and tune in for more from thematani.com.